saw like a couple of minutes of this one and I got pissed off a bit. But yeah, let's do this together.
Yo ho ho, this is Captain Dirty, and we are back with another episode of Talking Dirty. I didn't expect my second episode to...
Wait, what? This is the fixed audio version? Really? The first thing that I noticed when I saw this, when I watched like the first minute of the video, that like he was talking over himself talking, like the stream clip where he's talking, like it was just like super confusing. But it's gonna stop in a second. You'll see.
Be on this subject, but here we are. Today we're going to talk about the warning I just got from CIG a few days ago, and I'm going to explain my perspective and my opinion on that, and talk about some of the issues at play here.
Hey Astro, thank you for joining. I don't know if it's the same video as on Spectrum. I didn't check Spectrum in a while. I checked it today because of the Salty's live stream, but I just tried to find the post, and that's it.
There's a little bit of context I want to give.
What are the leaks? You gotta rewind it on YouTube. You're gonna see it.
I've got some emails from some CIG reps.
So this video at the start, that's what I realized. The video at the start is important for it's like the main context. It gives the main context to the whole video. So apparently they boarded a Carrick, and the guy kept on respawning,
my perspective,
and he kept on killing him.
My opinion on that,
because he was like running around the Carrick, right?
And talk about some of the issues at play here. So there's a little bit of context I want to give before we get into
Tell me if you can hear him or if he's...
I've got some
No,
emails
I'm just going to fix it right now. Give me a second.
Some CIG reps.
This should be better.
Here's one of them. It says, thanks for getting back to me. I'm still unclear about what specific actions led to me receiving this warning. It would be helpful to know what I need to avoid to be clear of these warnings and bans. This was an email sent about 2 years ago when mass emails went out to basically anybody who did any PvP. So it continues here. Can you please link me the clarifications you mentioned in your last email? If you haven't already, I would like to know if the following actions are
Hey, Frog Boy.
Assuming we are not repeatedly going out of our way.
So this happened before.
And specifically, I ask firing on people responding in med bays. Okay, I've got a whole other list of stuff here. I'm not going to go into, but you can pause the video and take a look at what I asked here too. So going forward, I get a response from CIG, and it says a lot of other stuff here. It's not super relevant to this conversation.
The PTU is already open.
But
it went open PTU like a couple of hours ago.
Drac says, as for your...
The video is a little quiet, so I compressed the shit out of it. I can like, let me see. I can do this, but that's gonna fuck up. Like this is my main output for everything from the PC. So let's see what happens.
About specific behavior and others, that's something my team, the community team, and the devs are putting our heads together on to provide better transparency and clarification to the PvP community going forward. A safe bet for now is exactly as you phrased it, going out of our way to target the same players. Drac. Okay? So that was about 2 years ago, as you can see. Now, this is what I just got. Greetings. It has come to your attention that your account has been involved in what we deem as excessive griefing. Please take a moment to review our stance on
excessive griefing.
And we'll get back to this link in just a bit here, but probably most of you watching this video have already clicked this link and know what it's going to say. We ask kindly that you...
Dead Ringer is going to be posted by Stream Elements in a second, I guess. Just wait for the link.
Refrain from this type of behavior going forward. This is only a warning. The future incidents could result in more severe penalties. So It's only a warning. This isn't a big deal. I'm not getting banned or anything like that. So I send them a response to this. Thank you for the warning. Is this due to the Carrick medbay incident last night? If not, I'm truly clueless as to what I have done. I have been told by other CIG reps that killing people in medbays is not against policy. Has this policy changed? Greetings. Yes, this is in regards to the medbay incident, which we have deemed excessive griefing. This incident is now considered closed and may not receive further responses upon inquiries. I
see, like, the issue with this is that the Carrick has a medbay, and if you want to board it, and if you want to like steal the ship or steal the goods, they're gonna respawn. Like, the owner is gonna respawn in the medbay. So the only thing that you can do is to go to the medbay itself and clear all the imprints or whatever they're called from the medbay. I don't know if anybody except the owner can do that, because I never tried to do it on another guy's medbay in like a Carrick or a A90 jump. But like, if so, that's the only thing that you can do to prevent this. But other than that, they're just gonna keep on coming, because there's no like systems in place, game systems in place to fix this. So it's an issue with game development, and it's an issue with what CEG did, more than the issue with like him boarding and pirating a guy. Yet they issued a warning to Chaos Squad for this.
I mean, I don't know if they have made this based off of a Reddit post, which was made a few hours before I got this email. I don't know if they reviewed my stream. It's possible that they did. It's possible that they didn't. However, it's my belief that if they watched my stream, I don't think you could make the argument in good faith that I was intending to grief this player. In fact, my intention was to engage in what I would consider to be legitimate piracy gameplay, and we will go further into that as we go along here. But before we do that, we need to look at the link that was in one of the earlier emails. Okay, I'm not going to read all of this, but we will read the relevant part. There is a line that is occasionally crossed where players are going outside of the bounds of immersing themselves as a pirate/PvPer. Some users are going out of their way to leverage live streams and other mediums to excessively grief. In many of these cases, it is no longer about enjoying the game, but rather disrupting it. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. It was never my intention to grief players in this way. I play Star Citizen to pirate people.
All right, so speaking of pad ramming and firing into armistice zones, Defiant is here, and he can say he's my friend, and we have been in a bunch of orgs together, and he can confirm this, that we were at war with another pirates org. I'm gonna say that, and they griefed us, and not only us, but the other org that we were like with, and we were allied with them. We were protecting them, but the org that I'm talking about started a war with us, demanding some like stupid stuff. Like they asked the other content creator that we allied with to like disown us basically, and to not be friends with us anymore, even though we're like friends IRL, or at least we consider each other to be friends. And yeah, so that was like it's either that and 30 million a week, or we go to war, because they wanted to chase clout and get their like views up and all of that. So we did that. We went to war with them, and what they did was target us. Like they would like see me in Arena Commander, like one of them, and immediately 5 of them would show up in the same thing, and just like keep on destroying me for the videos that they posted in the end. They pad rammed us. They pad rammed me. They pad rammed the other org with a full C2 of like Montanium. They pad rammed them as they were landing in the what's it called? In the hangar of our corp or Area 18. There's like video proof of that. And what happened to them? Because I know for a fact that a couple of people reported them for doing this. Nothing happened to them. Why? Because they're friends with the developers. So let's continue.
And that is an unpleasant experience for most. However, it has been from day one an intended gameplay style and loop, and I believe that me and my organization engage in it in a legitimate fashion. Going forward here. Stream sniping, pad ramming, firing into armistice zones, or utilizing...
There you go, Defiant just confirmed it.
Others. These are just a few examples of excessive griefing, which we do not tolerate. Okay.
What org? I am not in the best terms with them after that, because not only that they, like, if they kept it in game and just did that, I would be like, whatever, they're just like douches. But they went into our Discord, they recorded our calls, and they released some of them to their, like, whatever, community. And they made like an 1.5 hour long video on us and the war that they started. And they were recording our like private calls basically because the org that we were in at the time, we were just friends. So some people would just go there to vent about their girlfriends, wives, whatever. Some of them would cry, etc. So they didn't air that, but we know that they have like most of it recorded. So yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not gonna say who it is, but you're probably suspecting who it is.
There was
'cause
no
fuck
stream
them.
sniping, there was no pad ramming, there was no firing into armistice zones, and we were not utilizing an exploit to grief others. Now, there is a mechanic involved in play here, and there are some workarounds which we have discovered after this incident, which are not, I wouldn't consider them to be publicly known unless you are the sort of person that consumes all of the, a lot of Star Citizen content on a regular basis.
Jack, if you're talking to me, they took it out of the game. That's the point.
Maybe you know about this. But I think it's safe to say that this is not a widely known...
They also doxed one of us,
into that a little bit later.
posted like his picture, etc. It doesn't matter,
On
Marco.
here, if you find
I'm not gonna
yourself
give him any
at the end of this,
space
you're more than happy
or
to
any promotion.
investigate in
Fuck
cases
them,
where it's warranted,
honestly.
we will absolutely intervene.
The thing is, you will see them on my channel, and some of them or their like followers bashing on me. CS card.
So that's it. This post here is at least 2, maybe 3 or 4 years old at this point. There have been no updates to it. There has been no transparency, like was mentioned in my emails with Drac a couple years ago. We have gotten none of that. Okay, and I understand that this is a developing game and mechanics are changing, and the types of gameplay behaviors that players are engaging in will change.
Oh, dude, fuck this camera. Honestly, fuck this camera.
This is not a you do this and it's done kind of job. It's an ever evolving process, and I do understand.
It's getting worse.
How
Honestly, it's getting fucking worse with this camera. And it's not the connection, like it's not the cable, it's not like I checked everything. It's just
However,
like,
I think this is a widely held
I don't fucking
opinion
know.
among most of the PvP community, that the lines here are about as clear as mud, honestly. I mean, you give
Yeah, they
3
are.
specific things that you can't and should not do, okay? That's mostly pretty clear. I think I think there are some questions about defining pad ramming that could be made that I'm not really going to get into in this video.
It's not a driver update. It's just like the lack of power in my PSU. It's fine. Fuck it.
Pretty clear, except now there are armistice zones which
I already have a powered USB hub. It doesn't help.
absolutely can
Also, these sticks can't be plugged into a hub.
fire in mechanically. So honestly, this should really
Doesn't matter. Let's just continue with the video.
This is no longer really applicable to
Until the stream dies.
Okay, so let's get into the actual gameplay that this whole fuss is about.
Please do.
Okay, we have boarded this Carrick, the owner of which was not on board when I stole it. I flew it out to dead space. I'm actually about to leave the Carrick, and the owner of the Carrick spawns in the med bay. Right, he's got an arc light pistol, as you saw at the very beginning of this video. He tries to shoot me. I managed to kill him, and as you can see now, he's starting to respawn in the med bay. Okay.
Well, they fixed the game design with pad ramming. We're giving us hangars for all the ships and all of the points of interest, basically, or all of the landing zones. So that's how they fixed it, and that's fine. But this also needs to be fixed on their side and not like attack people that are pirating. And like
so
issuing a warnings to like people that are pirating.
I made a post to Spectrum.
Because like if you boarded a ship and you want that ship and you want what's on the ship, you gotta stay on the ship. But if the owner is still there and keeps on respawning, there's nothing else that you can do. Like, do I need to like, I don't know, fucking paint this for them? You need to keep on killing them because there's nothing else that you can do, and that's it.
When these, med bay mechanics were first being introduced, and it was the same thing happening. We'd stolen a ship, and the owner of the ship just continually respawns. Okay. I posted it to Spectrum, hoping that I would get some feedback.
Okay, so it is the same thing from the Spectrum, yeah.
Griefing, okay. I got really nothing from the devs, so I considered their silence to be an okay on that, and continue.
I mean, even with talking to him, if he and you know that he reported them, because CAG wouldn't know if he didn't like report them. So even if he talked to them. Or I don't know if Chaos Squad talked to him, but he would still go to like the issue council or whatever it's called, like concierge support or whatever, and he would like ask them ask them to issue a warning to Chaos Squad.
To do that, I got this follow-up email.
Like people are gonna 317, you attack them. They either destroy their own ship or just like Alt F4 and the ship is gone. And that's like the fucking camera. And and that's what like they would do like whenever they're in like a troubling situation basically. But with this, like honestly, whatever they did doesn't matter. It's just poor game design and it needs to be changed. But yeah.
From Drac.
Instead, they're just gonna issue a warning to the guy that was pirating.
Med bay, after they've respawned is off limits, and he says, and I quote, "Not if you're going out of your way to do it." Now, we've stolen this ship. We flew it out to dead space. We've got a reclaimer that's pulling up and getting ready to start salvaging the hull. Okay.
Oh, so this happened in the PTU.
This ship. I was on my way to the elevator, as you could see earlier. I was about to leave. All right, I don't want to be here doing this in all honesty. As you can see now, we're allowing the player to spawn and get up out of the bed.
I wouldn't even allow him to do that, honestly.
To attack us with his fists. Now, we have already attempted to communicate with him.
There you go. They talked to him.
Voice comms, and in a little while, I will attempt to do so through text as well. We got no response from this player. Okay, so we start to, brainstorm some things that we can do. And we do discuss, at one point, laying in the bed. Okay, and you'll see us do that a little bit later in this
He's
video.
gonna spawn on top of you.
Now, it's my understanding that if you lay in the bed long enough, it will force the player to spawn at their home base or whatever. I don't know what that time limit is. I'm guessing it's maybe 5 minutes.
Honestly, I never heard of that.
But I want you to notice that we've given this player many opportunities to simply push the button on the medbay screen where they can change their location. They don't have to continue spawning in this Carrick if they don't want to. Okay? We do sometimes, I will admit, kill them right away. But we have already given them several opportunities to go ahead and just push that button and opt out of this situation. Now, as you can see, they are continuing to participate in this. And I would not say that this is involuntary. Now, I do understand there are some new mechanics in 3.18. I would like to go on the record as to saying that this is my third or maybe fourth play session in 3.18. So I am still getting used to these new mechanics.
Why not add a mechanic that says if a guy that already killed you is in your medbay, you cannot spawn there anymore? I guess that isn't really easy to code, but it is a solution, I guess.
Now, I understand that if there are other people on board your ship, you are no longer able to...
Or give it an override button, yeah.
...log out of the game.
Without the hacking mechanic. Just give it an override button in the medbay,
I don't
and
know
that's
if
fine.
that player... I'm sure they can Alt F4 or something, but they are not stuck in this loop here. They do have the opportunity to opt out by pushing the button on the medbay, right? And we're not...
No, he wants his Carrick,
intentionally trying
or he wants to report them, and that's it.
Logging out. That is a new mechanic that has been introduced.
See, he's trying to fight them.
Unfortunate side effect of this gameplay that's happening right now. It's not our intention to do that. We've got 3 people here now who are sitting in this medbay, trying to make sure that this dude doesn't get out of the medbay, go to the pilot's seat.
There's also another way that you can do that. Keep him here, keep him alive, but shoot his fucking legs. Just enough for him not to be able to walk anymore. But keep him alive. But still he can backspace and spawn in the Carrick again.
Ram our reclaimer, kill everybody, hit the self-destruct button, just fly out of there, right? There's any number of things that they can do. And as you can see here, we've actually chosen here to drug him and try to communicate with him some more. But he
still wants to fight.
He raises his fists and he immediately starts to attack us, so we down him again. Okay? So you really can't make the argument in good faith that we are pinning this player to the medbay. We've given them so many chances already, and we're only a few minutes into this video. Okay? So I have some questions here about how we proceed, right? If I steal a ship with a medbay, and the owner has set their respawn to that medbay, do I now have to, cheeseball hack the medbay by having me or one of my org members lay down in the medbay for however many minutes until this player just exits out of the game or is forced to respawn somewhere else?
I remember people spawning over each other in the medbay, so I don't know if that would work.
That is a less honorable or ethical way to deal with this situation. I don't know if many players would even understand what was happening to them if they sat there and stared at a black screen for over 60 seconds. I know that I would probably be wondering if I was ever going to respawn, or if I should start to think about exiting to menus or reloading the game or something. However, if that's how we have to proceed here...
Cheronova, how is this griefing? Like the dude already said, they took the Carrick. They pirated the Carrick. The guy was not in the Carrick. What the guy did, like when they took off, they took the Carrick to the like empty space, whatever, and they wanted sarcasm all you want, but it's true. It is not true, Cheranova. It is not true. This is bad game mechanics. Here's why. I don't know if you joined right now or when you joined. Piracy is a legit thing in Star Citizen. It is a game loop for some people. It is a game loop that's going to work in 3.18, and they're so excited about that. And you can't, like, after fucking 11 years of waiting, they're just getting their game loop, like, on a functional level. Because right now, 3.17, the PU and all the previous patches, you would only, like, work around the game loop that's just, like, broken and not working. And you would, like, I don't know, RP it to make it like work, but it's not really working. In 3.18, it's working better, and there are some things that you can do to actually pirate people. And these guys wanted to test it out. Sure. So what they did, they found the Carrick, they boarded the Carrick, they took the Carrick, and they were about to hull scrape it with a reclaimer, right? But the guy started spawning in the Carrick. So what are they going to do? They need the Carrick so they can finish their game loop, so they can like hull scrape it. Maybe the Carrick has some cargo, doesn't matter. But if it did, what are you gonna do with the Carrick that has like a guy that's fucking spawning in the and trying to like hit you and trying to retake the Carrick, but you're trying to fucking pirate it and sell the cargo? You gotta kill the guy, right? It's the same if like you went to a bunker mission and you can't finish a mission because you have like an NPC fucking respawning all the time. And you gotta kill him over and over again until you finish the mission, right? It's basically the same thing. This guy is this guy is basically an NPC. But this guy did it intentionally for like two reasons. First reason, he's constantly trying to like retake his Carrick, which he's not gonna do because like there's 3 people around them. And he knows that. He's going to still try, and then he realized probably at some point, well, I can just, like, report them for griefing, which he did, which is like an asshole move, but he did that. So there is no workaround for this. I never heard of, like, blocking the med bay for, like, 5 minutes. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. I saw people spawn, like, on top of you in the med bay. So I don't know if that's actually going to work. But whatever. So this is bad game design that needs to be changed. Instead, what they did is they issued a warning. So that means that you can't, like all the ships, the A90 Jump and the Carrick are like off the board when it comes to piracy because people can respawn in it, which is stupid. Especially when you like take into consideration that a bunch of people got a Carrick for free, basically for getting the loaner for the galaxy. So what I'm saying is this can't be griefing. Yes, they are killing him over and over again, but they're trying to talk to him. They're trying to talk him down. He had an opportunity to like log out. He had an opportunity to choose another spawn point. He had an opportunity to just chill. But no, he continued that. So you can't call this griefing. Unfortunately, it's broken. And unfortunately, it seems like the pirates are abusing the mechanic, but they're not. The only guy that's like abusing the mechanic is the guy that's respawning. Because there are no mechanics in place to stop you from doing that. So he went to the concierge support and he reported them.
Then some clarification from CIG would be great.
He can respawn in a different location. He can just like lay in the bed, click clear on his medbay, and he can like the next time he dies, he can respawn in a different location.
And I feel like in my emails more recently...
It's not stupid for people to spawn in the ship, and that's going to be apparent to you when we get Pyro and the other things.
To CIG was attempting in good faith to figure out where those lines are. Okay, because sandbox PvP is like all I do. It's what my entire group and YouTube channel is completely focused on. And so it's important for me to understand
The C word sucks though, you know, the C word.
and where those lines are. Because I would rather not cross them. I would rather not lose the hundreds of dollars that I have invested into this game. I would rather continue to play and enjoy this game and to create content for this game. However, I was not really given the opportunity. The ticket was immediately closed. I am looking at opening up another...
See, like, now you're arguing in the fucking chat. Please don't do that, first of all. Secondly, anthropophagic. I don't know. I can't even see the name. So you see the flaws. You see the flaws in the design. This is a game design problem. This is an issue with the game mechanic. It's not an issue with this guy. It's not an issue with this guy that's holding a gun. It's the bad game mechanic or the lack of a game mechanic that's going to prevent this.
Line of communication with CIG to attempt to
no, somebody call somebody a twat, and I would
for them to
rather not see that in the chat, honestly.
Hey, there's a little bit of an issue with our med bays. We've noticed that if pirates steal a ship and a player is respawning on their med bay, that they may be stuck in a game loop. Here's how you deal with that, right? You push the button on the screen and allow that player to choose a new respawn location. That's fine. That's totally acceptable. Just tell us where the line is, right? Is it okay for us to lay on the bed and force them to stare at a black screen until they exit to menus or get...
I guess this is a working mechanic.
Is that...
But honestly, this is more of a griefing. If they're going to look at the black screen that they can't interact with, that's them stupid. That's basically griefing them. Because they're just going to be there and staring at the black fucking screen for 5 minutes or whatever. What's the point of that?
Griefing? I have no idea, right? But my only other alternatives are not pirate a ship with a medbay, which is frankly dumb and completely game breaking and immersion breaking, and honestly frustrating that
with all this desync, in the end they're gonna shoot each other or they're gonna fucking med gun each other and they're just gonna be drugged up and then shoot each other.
An option here, or I saw
the medbay does work if the ship is powered down. Yes. Also, it did work if the ship was in the soft death in the previous patch that I played in the PTU. So there's that, though. Yeah, that's brutal.
Ship, right. Now, I've stolen this ship. It doesn't have any cargo. However, I know that if we stick our salvage crew to this thing, they're going to make $500,000 in about 30 minutes. Right. So it's a profitable, completely reasonable thing for me and my org to engage in. And if we soft death the ship, we're losing, I don't know, half of our profit.
Yes. Yes, because if you just power down the shield, you're going to get more out of the hull.
And we're running a crew of, between 6 and 10 people. So we're splitting that up with a good number of people. We would want our time to be worth it, right? And those numbers actually aren't too bad if you don't salvage or soft death the ship before salvaging it, right? So that's not a really great option. I don't really think there are very many other options here for us to do except just let this player have free reign of his ship to do whatever he wants to do. And I guarantee you he's not going to allow us to continue our pirate operation here. So, my open question to CIG is...
He goes for the bridge, of course.
Can you please tell us how we are supposed to handle this situation?
So Scott said, we do know that the aim is for open PvP possible at any moment with no artificial limits. We know that. Yes, we do know that, Japper. Let me tell you something. Let me break this for you because a bunch of people don't. That's why people are asking for the fucking PvP slider. That's why people are asking for like no PvP zones or servers that are not going to have any PvP. The issue is this game is supposed to be not really revolving around PvP, but PvP is going to be a really big drive in this game. Now, CAG has stated, and you can find this, I'm not going to find this right now, I don't care, honestly. CAG has stated a couple of things. First, there are going to be some systems that are going to discourage PvP, purely because the security is going to be so tight there that you're going to basically die immediately and you're going to go to jail and you're going to be in jail for a long time. So one of those systems should be Terra or Sol or whatever. And there are some systems like that. We don't have them in the game right now. Stanton is like a middle-tiered system where you have some piracy, you have some PvP, but also you have some security, but it's not that bad. Pyro, on the other hand, is going to be lawless. And if you go to Pyro, and you know, like I know, that once we get Pyro, there's going to be more people that are going to complain about PvP than ever before and asking for the PvP slider because they don't understand that Pyro is a lawless system. And they don't understand that, like, that's the point of that system. Right? Also, let me tell you one more thing. The Armistice zones are going to be lifted at some point. So, for example, you have... I forgot which org has dibs on Lorville. But there is an org, a huge fucking org, that said once that happens, once they lift the Armistice zones, once they're done with that, once you can shoot inside of the Armistice zones, then we're going to take over Laurel. Or the whole fucking planet of Hurston. Whoever wants to approach and like do anything inside Lorville will need to pay us. And that's people organizing themselves and having their own gameplay and game loops in a fucking whatchamacallit. What do they call it? On sandbox environment, in a sandbox game. So there are already plans for that. And if you don't like it, like, I'm sorry, but that's how the game is going to work. And I know for a fact, I'm even thinking about that. Once we get Pyro, maybe I'm going to organize people. I don't have an org anymore. But at some point, I'm probably going to organize people to guard the jump gates between Pyro and Stanton and just make money from people that are passing through. Pirate them, or like it's either or. Either you pay us or you die and we get your loot and we pirate you. Why not? We're gonna get some money out of it. We're gonna get some like player interaction, and that's fun. Anyway, let's continue.
I'll do it for now, but honestly, I think this is on CIG to solve. They need to.
I'm not saying go play something else, dude. I'm not saying go play something else. If you want to play this game, you gotta get better at PvP. Or you gotta hire some escorts. And that's how it works. You gotta be a part of an org. Honestly, there is a lot of issues with that. And like the more we talk about that, the more apparent those issues are. Because orgs are just like whatever. It's on a website, and you make a party, and then you lose the party markers whenever somebody dies. Some people get go invisible, etc., etc. It's like there's a lot of issues with the game right now. But in the future, if that all works and gets fixed, then yeah, this is gonna be good.
Introduce some other mechanic. Where we can either hack the medbay and turn it off so that the captain of the ship can't continue to respawn, And, you know, maybe that takes us like 3 or 4 minutes like it might a satellite. Fine, great. We at least know like there's something to do. Everybody else knows like, well,
Blaze, that's an org that I was running, by the
at
way.
least I only have to endure this for however many minutes, right? But there's some way that this is being dealt with, right? There could be a limitation on how many times players can respawn in the med bay. Is it 3 times? Is it 10 times? Right? If we know the answer to that, well then there's a clear solution to this problem. But to just like randomly give me a warning for honestly engaging in gameplay that
So
I have done for the last...
I guess they're blocking him now, and honestly this is even more like, this is griefing. Because the dude is just gonna sit and look at a fucking black screen for 5 minutes now. And this is just stupid.
3 years. This isn't like an everyday kind of thing, but this does happen when you steal a ship and somebody's on the med bay, right? And, you know, what...
Yeah, the fines, like, there's gonna be hacking in the game at some point, and then, like, when that happens, there's gonna be a guy that's gonna hack this, while the other guy kills whoever wants to spawn. So that's gonna get fixed by hacking, probably. But in the meantime, we need something.
Can you do? In the past, what we would do is shoot them until they paid us, and we would leave after they paid us, right? We've been doing this for years, and I've probably got 5 or 6 videos on YouTube right now where we're doing just that.
Or just add disable medbay. Yes.
On Reddit, all of a sudden I get this.
As I said, we need a mechanic, like something to solve this problem before they actually do hacking.
This ban. And maybe it's because there are some new gameplay mechanics involved in that, but if that's the case, it would have been great for the CIG rep to, like, I don't know, let me know, you know, give me something more than like, we deem this excessive griefing, this case is closed.
Yeah,
like,
tell us how to play it then. If this is excessive griefing, fucking tell us how to play it.
Oh, okay. Where do we proceed from here? Right? And there's this huge, you know, it blew up on Reddit with a bunch of people chiming in from every which side. And, you know, it got as, you know, ugly as you can imagine. But there were some really good points in there. A lot of them I've brought up in this video. And, you know, I'll just say as a final point before I, you know, end this, that, you know, you've created a sandbox game for us to play. We're playing the sandbox game. But, you know, we need to...
See, what happened here was probably the guy, like the user reclaimer while he was respawning. So he probably saw the black screen, nothing happened, and then he ulti forward out of rage. And then he went to, like, report them.
To have clear definitions of where those lines are. And, you know, I hate to say it, but CID has not done a good job of doing that.
And he's back! Jesus
2
fucking
years,
Christ.
Since, you know, I communicated with them.
Never mind, he didn't know Ulti 4.
And more than that, since they made their post where they said they were going to continue to think about and talk about and work on these ideas. But we've gotten nothing. And, you know, I think that is...
And now people are going to say this is targeted harassment. It's not. It doesn't matter who he is. It's a Carrick. They wanted the Carrick.
A little bit lame. So
powering down the ship does not disable the med bay.
My warning...
We already talked about that. And if you go into soft death, at least in the previous patch that I played, the med bay would still work.
So be it.
You can respawn in it. You can't log out,
but, you know, please,
but you can respawn
give us,
in the med bay.
Just a little bit more information.
Maybe they changed it for this patch. I don't know. We're gonna try it.
CIG.
Yeah, so that's a cool video, and it like raises a question of like questionable mechanics. You can see it in the chat now on Twitch and on YouTube. By the way, follow me on Twitch. If you're on YouTube right now, you should probably follow me on Twitch because I'm streaming on Twitch much more than on YouTube. I'm doing these like from time to time on YouTube.